Hi guys. I read a lot of books this year, like over 70. Probably a quarter of them were graphic novels, but I also reread a lot of books this year, 24 of them. I read all of Harry Potter in preparation for the pub quiz. That was really good. I read parts of Harry Potter all the time, but reading through the whole series in order and everything was one of the highlights of the year. I also reread a bunch of books from 5th grade. I reread all 12 of the Tortall books. I read The Blue Sword for the millionth time. The Dark is Rising is another one that I like to read often. It's dark, but also hopeful. And I like reading it in the middle of the summer, even though it's set in midwinter. And remember how I had a hard time coming up with a dragon book for the book bingo? Well, I reread a bunch of books with dragons in them. A Book Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon. There are dragons in Harry Potter and some of the Tortall books. I also kickstarted my newest Terry Pratchett phase by listening to the audiobook of Going Postal. That's probably still my favorite Discworld book. Why do I spend so much time rereading books? I could have read so many more books that are in my to-read pile. I maybe could have made it to 100 new books this year. But there's something about rereading that keeps me sane. The past 2 semesters have been filled with so much uncertainty. I had to defend papers and my position in the grad program. I worked hard, I passed, but there was still that nagging question, what happens if I don't pass my defense? That question is too big to think about. There are too many possibilities and decisions that would need to be made. So I stuck with something familiar. That's why I love rereading the story of Harry. She had the possibilities of her life abruptly changed by the kidnapping to a strange foreign land that it's a land that she fits better into than her home. Rereading the stories of the Tortall women show me how we can solve problems using our specific personal skills. We aren't all the same, but we can succeed if we embrace what we are best at. And Harry Potter. No other story has shaped my life quite so deeply. When I reread it, I can think back to those midnight parties. I remember all the growing up I did between the first and final books. I became an adult with Harry Potter. There's something comforting about looking back in time to the person you were when you first read Goblet of Fire and celebrating how much you've grown up since. Rereading books keeps me sane because I know how the story's going to turn out in the end. And it helps me see that I will be okay in the end too.